Tonight, police say there may be several people responsible for the majority of the arsons on the Eastern Shore.
Firefighters have been battling these fires for months.
And after taking your concerned calls and reading your comments, shocked at just how long this is going on, tonight we have a special report.
10 News 5's Nina Blanton takes you inside the mind of a serial arsonist and the efforts to make sure that person or persons are caught.
Absolutely. You know, we traveled up to Accomack County, Tom and Alveda. We spoke with people directly affected by these fires and those nearby. And tonight, we delve into their fear and their biggest question: who would do something like this? 3 months of scenes like this, night after night, in Accomack County. And as you can see, it's not hard to find evidence of an arsonist's path of destruction. Conversations around a community in fear of the next fire make it clear. Rumors are running rampant.
Whether the guy's actually booby-trapping the houses or not.
I feel like it's an inside job. I think that somebody obviously knows what's going on.
And patience with whomever setting these flames is wearing thin.
It's outrageous, really. Somebody should have caught this guy by now.
To date, there have been 44 arsons on the Eastern Shore since mid-November. It's exhausting, even looking at this crowded map of where they've all taken place. No one thought in the beginning.
Accomack County deputies say someone set more than a dozen fires on the Eastern Shore.
That the hits would just keep coming.
Another fire on the Eastern Shore. Authorities say there have been 25 arsons at abandoned buildings on the Eastern Shore since mid-November.
Or that the flames they saw on the news. State police are investigating yet another arson on the Eastern Shore. This is the 41st arson just since November. Would soon claim their property too.
He called me and said, "Have you looked outside?" And I said, "No." And I said, "Look outside." And because the fire trucks were out here and the lights were going on.
We caught up with residents in Parksley like Donald Carroll in disbelief.
Considering what could have happened and what did happen, I mean, you almost look like, hey, this is some kind of a miracle almost, because it should have burnt the whole thing down.
His burned workroom just 100 feet from his home held thousands of dollars of tools inside.
It's pretty nervy. Sooner or later, this man or whoever is doing it, or a woman, they're going to burn something, and one of our local firemen are going to get killed.
Just down the road, a neighbor who didn't want to be identified with a similar story to tell.
Whoever this fool is that's doing this, he needs to get caught quick.
Living with her mother now, the garage with everything she owned once stood here.
It's just devastating when you walk outside or look out the window and see what he has done. And looking out there, there's no proof that there was anything there except for all the mud. He doesn't know what he's doing to people because he's wrecked a lot of lives.
It makes you wonder whether the suspect knows more about the places that he's targeting, like, for instance, the fact that the owner of this home died over the summer. And as you can see, the back of it's in pieces now. So for those wondering who could be behind it all and why police haven't made an arrest, we went to two experts for answers. Bernadette Holmes, a criminal justice professor at Norfolk State University, and Dr. Velma Bakak, a psychiatrist at Riverside Behavioral Health Center.
These are quietly angry people, and but they don't show it. You'd see more of personality disorder, alcohol abuse. Who knows if this is for thrills or maybe this is something more, it's about revenge. It's secret. It's furtive.
And as a result, Professor Holmes says these crimes can be extremely hard to investigate.
You're putting together those pieces of the puzzle, and there is so much property damage associated with this type of crime that it can take longer to solve.
Police have used these construction billboards to send a message to anyone near.
We do believe it might be somebody that's within the community.
But otherwise, this has often been their response when we've pressed them for information about the case.
Any known suspects? At any point in time did you all think you had a suspect?
Right now, any leads that we have in reference to a suspect is under criminal investigation.
And Professor Holmes says it's understandable given the nature of the crimes.
Law enforcement has to be very careful. One misstep, one misstatement could escalate the behavior of the perpetrator, or it could give clues.
So what do you tell the people in these places hoping for the best, but fearing the worst?
Trying not to let the fear overcome you and rule your life. Life isn't as easy as television police shows, and there has to be a certain patience.
Words of wisdom for the wait until this firestorm of controversy ends. Right now, the main targets for arson in Accomack County have been abandoned or unoccupied buildings. But Tom and Alvita, I asked Dr. Bakak what she thought when it comes to whether this person or people could escalate into possibly even occupied buildings. That's been a big question on people's minds. And she says something that was a little unsettling, and that's that they're on a roll right now. So why would they quit?
And they don't know all the times. Like that one shed that you had.
Could have been somebody in it. You don't know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Especially late at night.
everybody's hoping they catch him fast.
Absolutely.
Right. Thanks, Anita.
Thank you.
And we have complete coverage for arsons on wavy.com. This is a photo gallery of some of those fires. You can also find numbers to call with tips and a timeline and map, plus the latest updates on the arsons and the search for the arsonist.